Good morning. The morning drinking show. It's all on me with your host, Greg Scargill. Been showing up here now for 22 fucking days. 22 days going on this journey of talking shit in the morning, talk about my life transformation. 10 years of sobriety in 2022. We're marching to July 22nd as I hit 10 years of sobriety. And I've been just so excited to just share with you guys the transformation that I've gone through. It's been a total, complete rebuilding from right there, the drunk motherfucker, 7/25/12, man. Eesh. I remember that. I remember right when they finally opened up that door, had me all that paperwork. I remember getting released from jail. I remember that picture, 7/25/12. Man, they handed me all kinds of paperwork, you guys. I really fucked myself there. I remember because of the situation and the circumstances back then, I had my ex-wife, now at the time she was my wife, she had filed divorce papers, restraining orders, and I had criminal charges. So that was a big stack of paperwork and a pretty humiliating walk, right? Where the little adult detention center is, the jail here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, Santa Fe County. They release you and you got to walk. You got to take this the stroll of fame, right? You got to walk to this gas station and get picked up. And man, that was a hell of a journey, right? That was a long walk. I've done a lot of walks since then. I'm a big hiker. I love walking out in nature. I think it's one of the most therapeutic things that I partake in. And I do a lot of therapy. And I'm encouraging all you guys to consider some therapy, even if that shit ain't worked for you in the past. I know. Not every therapist is great, but it takes you not giving up, right? And trying to really seek out a therapist that aligns with you, that isn't just going to sit there and just kind of show up and say, hey, well, how you feeling? Someone that's actually going to put you to work. Have you start really working on some of the issues, putting some tools to some practice and training, start training yourself to change. But, here we are, 7-day-a-week program, right? That's what we call life. So we all just freaking the fuck out, right? Because you had a hell of a week, Monday through Friday, and, Saturday, Sunday, that's what life gives you, right? That's what life's giving you. 2 days out of the 7 to just chill. Right? To kick back, to do something for you. And a lot of us, depending on our mental and emotional state of being, a lot of us doing something for me is just kicking back because you're so fucking drained. Your energy is so disorganized. That's a good way to say it, right? Does anybody have disorganized energy right now? It's not focused energy. So that'd be the difference, right? When it's disorganized, it's like you got a pulse. You got, you're clearly alive, you're awake, but you don't really have focus on today, right? You don't have any plans. You don't really have any goals to accomplish. You don't have any intentions, but under all those feelings of disorganization, that there's some shit you need to work on, and I've been pushing big time, you guys. I've been pushing this big time, right? Is doing what? What do we need to do every day? We need to journal. We need to journal every day, you guys. I just spent about an hour and a half this morning reading through last year's journal. I read almost every page, just all the all the exercises I did, the stuff I've been sharing with you guys on things that you can do to improve and to really start to get a better feeling on your thoughts and your emotions, man. Like, we're so disorganized when we don't put our thoughts and our feelings down on paper. We think we can manage everything just in our fucking heads, and it don't work like that. Most of us as adults, we got too much fucking stress, right? We got too many fucking things happening that for us to truly organize and compartmentalize our lives and our thoughts, man, it's a challenge. It was a challenge for me, but I'll tell you, the gift of journaling, you guys, it's such a gift. It's one of the coolest gifts you could give yourself in terms of reflection and really being able to build some self-confidence, to build some self-trust, right? To really be able to go back and look. Like, how was I feeling a year ago? It's amazing to see how I've transformed even just in the past year. I haven't really talked a lot about it, but I was in a pretty toxic relationship last year. And it was just kind of the breakup to make up, the breakup to make up, behind the scenes type stuff, not a public type relationship, but it was so draining. It was so painful. And, when I say relationship, you guys right away think intimacy, but for some of you, the toxic relationship is codependency of drugs and alcohol. Some of you, the toxic relationship is with a friend or a family member. Some of us have toxic relationships with ourselves. And it's so interesting that all of these things connect, right? And it's not until you really start organizing your life. And I truly believe at this point, at this stage of my life, the only way to start organizing is this right here. Journal every day, right? Every day, man, we do life. Every day you get hit with shit. And, I really came at you guys with looking at, what keeps my cup full, right? And it's so important to know what keeps your cup full every single day, because again, you're doing life. And I was reading it back in my journal, and there were some days for a while, and I stopped doing this, and I kind of think I need to get back into doing this. But for a while there, I would realize that, like, right now, I could tell you my energy right now is at a 10. Right? It's at like a 9, 10, super high. Like, if we just had a scale of 0 to 10, I could tell you that waking up in the morning, first thing, even, I got up today a little before my alarm. So my alarm went off at 4:05. I was up probably just before that, about 3:50 something. And my energy's at a high level. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm trying to wake up. I'm trying to check my thoughts. But again, it's checking my thoughts from the very first second, right? I'm thinking about shit. I'm stressed out about something. I'm reflecting about something maybe negative. Maybe my goal is to, if you have a goal to maybe grow in a certain area, maybe you're thinking about how there's a bunch of experiences that have held you back from growing. And so you got to learn how to cut that. You got to learn how to stop those thoughts. And then immediately, you guys, I go into playing these affirmations, playing positive affirmations to just start overflowing my mind and my thoughts and my body with just this injection of positivity and optimism. And I think it's very effective. And then I start conscientiously telling myself some self-talk, right? Hey, good morning, handsome. Good morning. I love you, Greg. I love you. I hope you're amazing. We're going to have a great day. Like, I literally start trying to process, some of those intentions and just that, and controlling that self-talk. But, when I was just looking at my journal, it wasn't for a long time, but it looked like it was about for 2 or 3 weeks. I was really monitoring. And it was when I was working at this humane society. I could see that I would start my day at like a 9, 10, and I was doing check-ins, like, so at 4, 5, 6, 7 in the morning, I would like do a little check-in. Okay, I'm at a 10, I'm still at a 10. And then maybe by like 10 o'clock in the morning, like maybe after having like a staff meeting at my job, my energy was already down to a 5, 6, you guys. Just one staff meeting took me from a 10 down to a 5 or 6. Well, then what does that tell me? If I'm starting to connect with myself and understand myself better, well, which one of these five could I pull to try and increase and fill my cup a little more? Well, at 10 o'clock is usually when I have a mid-morning meal. I usually hit my overnight oats. So maybe it's even just my energy's coming down because I get up so early. By 10 o'clock, I mean, that's already what, 6 hours? I've already been cranking for 6 hours. And so boom, I can get some nutrition. Maybe I just need to take a quick little 15-minute break and go put in some positive affirmation, some positive music, get into some mindfulness. And again, that can bring me from like a 5, 6, maybe back up to an 8, right? And so it's really monitoring, our energy, and it's guarding our energy. That's a huge piece to it. So many of us are so busy giving, 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 giving. In all honesty, I mean, even me doing this is I'm giving of myself. So it means I'm giving of my energy. And so definitely when I come off of recording the morning drinking show every day, my energy, maybe if it's at a 9 or 10, it might be like an 8 or 7. It's not as depleting as if I'm in a work meeting and just feeling miserable and I'm stressed out about my job and I feel like I'm being underappreciated and undervalued with my paycheck. And, just there's all kinds of interpersonal bullshit going on in the workplace. And I'm not the happiest with my job. I'm just sharing with you guys feelings we could all have from day to day. But it really comes down to monitoring and getting more connected with yourself. That's the it's all on me mindset. That's the whole premise of this experience, this program, this message that I am sending out to the world. It's all on me. It's total ownership. Total ownership of your life, total ownership of your story, total ownership of your thoughts and your feelings, right? Your self-care, right? Your goals and dreams, your accomplishment. And in a lot of ways, that is to telling the world, fuck you, world. Fuck you, every motherfucker. Right. And what's wrong with that? Right. There's a lot of people, man, that they just drain us of our energy. And we need to start taking those accounts. We need to start looking at our relationships across the board, relationships. Because what relationships are going to require of you is your time, right? Your attention, your energy, your resources. I mean, you have to manage relationships. They don't just happen by themselves. So if you want to improve your personal relationship, guess what? You need to spend more time with yourself. And that's why I've been telling you motherfuckers, wake up a little bit earlier. Get in these power hours before your day gets started in the earliest part of the morning. The power hour, man. This is about you. This is your time with yourself where you can stop and really just get yourself ready, get yourself charged up for your day. And it's about building a relationship with yourself, right? Because if you're just the one you're just rolling out of bed, you just have this routine that doesn't allow for you to just have some reflective time, some meditative time, some peaceful time in the morning. Ain't no other motherfucker bugging you. If you're a parent or a single parent and you got to do all this stuff for your kids, man, that's stressful. And so how are you going to get that in if you can't get up even before everyone else around you gets up, so that you can just spend some quiet time by yourself to really just build yourself up, knowing that life is going to cause you to have to be interacting and connecting with other people. And as we do that, right, there's some people in our lives that build us up. So when we have an encounter with somebody, they're actually going to help to fill our cup and build us up, build our confidence and our esteem, right? But there's other people, and this is probably more of the case, that the people in our lives, they're drainers, they're leeches, right? They're leeching your time, they're leeching your energy, they're taking away your focus, they're getting you distracted, right? Because sometimes there's someone that you're not even around right now. Maybe you having a fallout in a relationship and you're sitting here dwelling on what could have been. What if? I wish it was different. And so you're wasting your life energy and your precious time focusing on shit that you can't change. Yeah, maybe the greatest thing you could change today, you guys, is your attitude, right? Your perspective and your story. And you get a choice on all of those. And so I'm grateful. The greatest gift that I've given myself in the past year was the commitment that I've made to journaling. It's bigger than I've even been able to express through this show. The importance of journaling, just being able to go back in here and reread through my perspective on life. You can get real honest with yourself through journaling once you kind of hit that stride. Once you start being able to write down all these thoughts running through your head, fear of being alone, and concerns of red flags with people in your life, people hurting you, you questioning relationships. You can get all of that shit out. Your fear of failure, or just what are your goals. You could really start kind of writing down some goals and dreams, no matter how batshit crazy that stuff may sound to somebody else. How does it sound to you? Right? That's what this is about. What is your story? What is the story you're telling yourself? Right? What are the goals that you have for you today? What are the goals and the dreams that you want to accomplish this year? What are the goals and dreams you want to accomplish in the next 3 years, 5 years? Do you have that? Can you even see that far down range in life? Most of us can't even get past today. And a lot of us looking in the motherfucking rearview mirror. We're doing life in reverse because we think that the best of who we were, the best version of ourselves, was this younger, prettier, more handsome, more athletic, more healthier, more attractive person from the past. And again, that shit is fucking gone. And if you're feeling like shit, if you're not feeling healthy, if you're not feeling loved, guess what? The solution to all of those feelings is not in another person. Trust me, I learned this shit the hard way, you guys. It is in yourself and this relationship with yourself. Self-love. That's the purpose of this whole entire journey, you guys, is truly getting to a place where your happiness, your love, your peace, your satisfaction, your fulfillment in life is all from self. It's amazing when you have healthy, secure relationships around you, friendships, right? Family relationships, intimate relationships that build you up. But at the end of the day, if you're someone that is feeling lonely right now, and I read through a lot, man. It was sad. I was in a toxic relationship last year. I'm talking about how lonely I am. I'm talking about how sad I am, how much pain I'm feeling, right? And so some of y'all are feeling that right now. Some of y'all are married, right? And you are lonely. I think the statistic is 80%. I think it's 80% of Americans, and that's single, married, widowed, whatever the fuck, right? Adults. 80% of adult Americans feel or express feeling lonely on a regular basis. And that means that probably you're a part of that. You're most likely a part of that category. So how do we deal with loneliness, right? Well, first off, we have to start changing the story about what it means to be alone, right? Some of us need to start really looking at our relationship with ourselves and how empowering it is when we start to improve our relationship with ourselves first, right? If you want to improve the relationship you have with others around you, you got to this is non-negotiable. There's not another option. You will not improve the relationships around you if you don't start to improve the relationship with yourself first. That's it. This whole conversation begins and ends right there. And that's why it's all on me, is taking total ownership of your life, taking total ownership of your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, right? Your intentions on life, your goals on life. Because guess what, motherfuckers? Ain't nobody coming to save you today. Ain't nobody gonna come and save you. No one's coming to your rescue, right? You may think that, oh, I'm gonna go run to this person. And it's great when someone else can be kind and loving and affectionate towards us. That's a big part of really getting through and coping through life, right? But still, even then, that's a coping mechanism. Still needing somebody to bring you some sense of worth and value and validation. Like, it's really healthy to have good, solid people around you. But guess what? Most of us that have been through life long enough, that have had that heartbreak and pain, realize that, guess what? Not everybody's going to be there for us. And even those people that we want to depend on the most, they can't always be there. Why? Because they got their own fucking shit. And at the end of the day, what is it going to take for us to start focusing on our relationship with ourselves? To start becoming empowered to say, you know what? I'm complete, whole, by myself. Like, I don't need anything else. Like, there should be nothing else, right, that we need in order to thrive. When we are given the gift of someone else's time, attention, and affection, like, don't take that shit for granted. It's a powerful thing. But a lot of times, it's always, so many of our relationships are enmeshed in codependency. I mentioned yesterday, and it really brought me back to thinking about relapse. I think that's a conversation that I'm going to be having today, and it's something I had brought up yesterday. And I just wanted to kind of point out that there's lapse and there's relapse, right? There's two aspects to basically going back to something that we know is unhealthy for us. And it could be a lot of different things, you guys. Going back into a toxic, intimate relationship. When you know someone's just not good for you, they're not bringing you more peace, they're bringing you more stress and pain. That's kind of like, if you've ever been in the breakup phase, no contact, and the next thing you know, a little time goes by and we start to have withdrawals, right? And it's very true with alcohol, drugs, sex, and a lot of other toxic shit in our lives. When we distance ourselves from it, we start to have those withdrawals. We start to miss it. And so right away, we start looking back saying, you know what? I know this wasn't good for me, but I didn't feel good in that, but I even feel worse without it. So it's like I got to pick the lesser of two evils. And at the end of the day, neither of those options are good for you. The best option for you is to be able to learn how to process your thoughts and emotions, to sit in and deal with whatever your body is trying to deal with, right? To process trauma, to process the pain that you're experiencing, right? To be able to process the codependency that you have when you go back to the drug or the alcohol or the person of your choice. And so I just wanted to make it clear that if you've ever been away from something, let's just call it sobriety. If you fall back, right, you just have a moment of weakness, life hits you, stressful situation, and you say, I can't take this, I need it, I need to do it, right? And you do it and you realize that, fuck, I'm right back to where I was. We beat the fuck out of ourselves emotionally, psychologically when that happens. I've experienced that time and time again. Trust me, coming out of the 3-year anger sobriety into that 18-month death spiral that started in Dallas at the Cowboy football game. that was a full-blown relapse, right? So a lapse is when you go back to something because you have a moment of weakness, and then you cut it. You say, fuck, that was stupid. Why did I do that? And you get back on the fucking wagon. You get back on the sober train, right? And so that's a lapse. A full-blown relapse is what I experienced, where it was like I went back, I got that first shot of sake, right? And I started drinking all night. And then literally it was 18 months nonstop death spiral until I literally fucking crashed and burned, hit that bottom spot right here, right here. This guy, I'm getting used to the opposites, but this guy right here, drunk motherfucker, you know, that was me being finally breaking my relapse that lasted for 18 months. And it was fucking painful, man. Painful. That was a very painful relapse in life. And so I wanted to talk about the stages of relapse and really kind of drill down on a teachable moment here. So there's 3 stages that actually happen in us that lead to the relapse. We have what's called the emotional stage, the mental stage, and then the physical stage, right? So a lot of times before we even relapse, you know, we're abstaining from something, we're abstaining from somebody or something, and we're already starting to have emotional withdrawal, right? You know, we're failing to cope with our feelings and our emotions, right? And so we're starting to get to a point of a lot of reflection, a lot of sense of missing, right? There's something missing there because again, I've been talking about this for 2 weeks now, is so many of us have codependency issues. We need shit to keep us fucking preoccupied. We can't just sit there. A lot of us are so fucking upset with ourselves, right? We're not where we think we should be. We're not who we think we should be. We don't look the way we think we should look, or just life in general. Some of us, just aging alone fucking depresses us because we feel less attractive, less worthy, less lovable, and it sucks. It sucks that the standards of this world can be so brutal, that we can put so much weight on the identity of being in a relationship, right? The vision of a couple, you know, and saying, you know, here, like what's coming up very soon, right? Valentine's, right? To say Valentine's by myself, you know, we all think about, fuck, well, I'd rather be in that toxic relationship where the sex was really good, but everything else was fucking painful, draining, and miserable. But at least I can feel loved and I can have some intimacy. And even if it leads to major fights and just more pain and suffering, fuck it. I'm willing to do that. So again, we're talking 3 stages of relapse. Emotional, right? The next one is mental, right? It's when you say, I'm choosing to be sober. I'm choosing to walk away from this person, right? But then you start having strong cravings, right? The cravings for it, you know, it's the sensation you get from it, right? You start to have those withdrawals, right? We start to have withdrawals. And so a lot of times we can break off, when we decide to break away from something that we know is harmful for us, usually there's a pretty good sense of confidence there. We have some clarity, and sometimes the clarity has to come through a lot of pain and suffering, but we have some clarity saying, all right, enough's enough. I'm fucking done. I'm done emotionally being destroyed by whatever this thing is. I'm done. So you have a lot of confidence, and then you know what happens? A little distance, right? Distance makes the heart grow fonder. Right? Anybody been there? Anybody said, hey, you know, distance makes the heart grow fonder, and then you start having some time and reflecting, and guess what? You start having cravings for that. Because some of my thoughts I was reading this morning is like, in this toxic relationship I was in, a lot of my thoughts were being expressed where I knew it was bad for me, but guess what? I was missing this person. I was missing them. I was feeling lonely. And so guess what? I'm having cravings for that. As bad as I know that thing was, those cravings and that longing are legit. And again, that's where we need to start writing and processing our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions. because the answer to your problems is not in something else. It's not in another person. It's not in a substance. It's in you taking ownership of your fucking life. And that's complete ownership of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. And that's this whole program. That's why I put out this daily 5. Because if your energy is just so low because you're feeling lonely and you're not living your best life, right? And living your best life is doing things that make you happy, right? And a lot of us get so fucking preoccupied managing all these other relationships around us that we're not doing the things that we know make us happy anymore. Some of us are literally neglecting our own needs, healthy fucking needs that we have as a human, to satisfy and keep something else in our life. And for me, it was alcohol for the longest time. Alcohol needed to be there for me, right, to feel good about myself. So again, the 3 stages of relapse: emotional, right? The emotional relapse starts kicking in because we're having a failure to cope with who? Ourselves. We're having a failure to cope with our thoughts and our emotions just in the present moment. Feeling lonely, feeling sad, feeling depressed, feeling anxious. We're not wanting to cope with those things, right? So the thing that we've been programmed to do to cope is what? Is finding external stimulation from other things, outside sources, drugs, alcohol, sex, relationships, friendships, all this shit. Other things on the outside. What I've gone through this 10-year journey of sobriety is I've had to learn how to get to a place of 1, processing, and 1, naming. Actually, it starts with acknowledging that you're feeling a certain way. Then it's being able to name it and then just sit there and process it. And it's a painful thing because we're talking about processing painful emotions. We're not talking about being happy as fuck, joyful, being blissful, and then just saying, I need to process this. No, you want to ride those waves, right? When you're feeling amazing, you want to ride that wave and use that momentum. But when you're feeling these negative thoughts, this loneliness, this isolation, this feeling unloved, this feeling unworthy, this feeling, not whole and complete, right? Then we want to go back. We start struggling with that. If you don't know how to cope with negative emotions and process, guess what? That's going to lead you closer to what? Relapse. Going back to the old habits, the shit that ain't working for you. It's a fucking broken record. So I keep telling you, motherfuckers. Emotional relapse, mental relapse, and then the physical relapse happens, right? And that's literally what happens is your lapse, right? I mentioned lapse. Lapse is when you first go back to that thing. It's when the lapse turns into full-blown relapse, no control. I'm the perfect example. The 18-month death spiral that started in Dallas, right? 1 little shot of sake and led to this motherfucker, that mugshot. That's what the result of my fucking relapse was. 18-month death spiral. And it led to that. It could have led to an obituary, right? It could have led to not only maybe my obituary, but maybe the obituary of a fucking innocent person because of how irresponsible I was to cope with my emotions, my pain, my hurt, right? The things I was dealing with at that time. And instead, it landed me up here in jail. And I'm trying to help some of you guys to overcome this shit. So here's what some of the common factors are. We're talking relapse today. We're talking about going back to that thing we know is not good for us. It's not good for you. You know it's not good for you, but you want to go back to it because you don't want to cope with your fucking thoughts and feelings. You don't want to focus on you. You want that thing to bring you joy. I read it in my journal. I was like, man, I know this person's horrible for me, but I just wish they would be here to comfort me and to make me feel good, which, in many ways, when we're talking relationships, we're just talking sex. We're talking wanting to be intimate, being held, being kissed, being told nice things. But really, it's so shallow, you guys. It's so shallow because it doesn't repair anything on the inside of us. It's fucking quick fix, right? It's a quick fucking fix. It's a band-aid. It's not a surgical procedure. And what it's taken me with 10 years of sobriety is to do a fucking complete gut rebuild of who I am as a man, who I am as a human being, so that I now have these fucking coping mechanisms. And am I perfect all the time? No. But I have to keep my fucking cup full every single day. And that's where I came up with the 5, right? I got to get in the gym. I got to maintain my fucking nutrition, right? I got to maintain mindfulness and personal development, and then making a difference. That shit keeps my cup full, right? I talked about monitoring my energy levels. I would go from a 10. When I start my day off, I think most of us, if you've had a decent night's sleep, some of y'all fucking sleep like shit, right? So you need to start looking at, well, what are you doing leading up to your sleep? Some of you may have just bona fide sleeping issues, but at the end of the day, getting a good night's sleep, right, is important. Maybe not watching fucking TV. Maybe you need to fucking take the TV out of your fucking bedroom, right? I challenge you right now. If you're someone that's spending if you're someone that goes to sleep more times than not with a fucking TV playing, something like a TV in your fucking bedroom, do some research on the internet about how unhealthy that is. Maybe I'll need to fucking take the TV out of the bedroom, right? I don't got no fucking TVs in my bedroom. Fuck that shit. I ain't got no time for that. But here's some of the risk factors, right, for relapse. These are some of the things that if you're not taking care of, you're at a higher risk of relapsing to something toxic, something harmful, something unhealthy in your life, right? Exposure to triggers, right? If you're someone that gets triggered by things, if you're not protecting and distancing yourself from triggers, right? If you're someone that says, oh, I want to start living a sober lifestyle, but the only job I have is being a bartender. There's no other jobs for me on this earth. That was that was an experience I had to have, you guys, when I got sober this time, right? Right after this motherfucker here, I had to walk away from the beer distribution industry. I was a sales rep at the time, selling beer, and I'm like trying to fucking find this new identity in my sobriety. And I said, man, I can't do this. I remember being in a Walgreens, and it was pretty early in the morning, like probably 8-ish. And I was, doing the backfill, stocking up the shelves with all the beer and shit. And I'm not trying to judge anybody in this situation, but this shit fucking messed me up, is, seeing the mom, right, going into the Walgreens liquor department, with the little kid, probably little toddler in her arms, right? And she's getting, a handful of shots and, a michelada or a little fucking, Bud Light, kind of fucking tomato, almost like a Bloody Mary type beer, right? Getting that with shots, like at 8 o'clock in the morning with a toddler in her hand. And it's just like, dude, I can't do this, man. I can't I can't stand for living a sober life and then yet have my career and my paycheck attached to continuing to support people's addiction, continuing to support something that does not align with my values. And that's a deep conversation. How many of you are willing to sacrifice, right, what is bad for you in order to get something better, right? But again, the whole point of sobriety, the hardest thing to let go of is what we're comfortable with, our habits. Because if you're someone that has been abusing something, and that, again, it doesn't have to just be alcohol, it doesn't have to just be drugs, it could be literally a person, it could be another person, you're using them, right, to satisfy this void, this emptiness inside of you. But again, it always leaves you empty. It doesn't give you back. And so in my situation, I just had this epiphany in this moment. I'm like, man, I can't do this. I have to walk away from this. And that's exactly what I did. I had to quit that job. I had to walk away from that business, right? Big paycheck. I thought, oh, look at me. I'm such a fucking good guy. I'm willing to give up all this, right, in the name of my sobriety, and some of y'all need to kind of fucking take some inventory, maybe use that as some journaling today and say, hey, what, if you give up something that you know is an addiction of yours, right? If I give up this addiction, what does that mean to me, right? What would be the best thing that would happen as a result of me giving up this? What would be the worst thing that would happen? How would I feel? Right? These are the kind of conversations you need to start developing with yourself when you are doing your daily journaling, right? You need to start developing this dialogue with yourself. If I give up this addiction, could be a person, toxic relationship, could be a drug or an alcohol choice, could be sex, could be pornography. There's so many fucking things that we're addicted to in this day and age that we're hiding. And it's like, if I give this up, what does that mean to me? What's the worst that could happen? What's the best thing that can happen? And how do I feel about those situations? Which of those do I desire? What is my fear? These are all of this, you guys, is a dialogue that you need to start having with yourself and really writing these things out. It's all on me as a journey of self-discovery. It's about improving your relationship with yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you think that your happiness and your sense of love is tied up in what someone else can do for you, you're already busted up. You're broke. That's a loser's fucking mentality, right? If you're constantly sitting there saying, in order for me to feel good about myself, I need someone else to love me. I need someone else to make me feel good about myself, because if I don't have someone there to help me feel good about myself, then I don't know how to feel good about myself by myself. Like, what the fuck? Like, the person you are without that other person is the person you are. And if you're a miserable fuck, you can put on the lipstick on the pig when the other person comes in your life, but eventually they're going to see the miserable fuck, because that's the essence of who you are. Right? People cannot change you. You got to change yourself. And who you are without that other person is who you fucking are. Deep down inside, who you are when you are by yourself is who the fuck you are. And that's what I've been fucking hammering at, guys. You got to start getting fucking real with yourself. Quit bullshitting yourself. Quit bullshitting every other motherfucker. We're talking about relapse. Thank you for joining me today. Again, we do life how many days a week? 7 motherfucking days a week. No days off. No excuses around here. This ain't no bullshit. You don't get to fucking just check the fuck out any day you want. You can, but that's just wasting your fucking time. And it's really showing that you have the inability to cope. And if you can't fucking cope with your thoughts and emotions, you need to maybe look at getting a fucking therapist like me. I go twice a week, you guys, 2 times a fucking week. And it's taken me a long time to find a amazing fucking therapist. Some of y'all, just having a fucking private conversation with me might be the fucking breakthrough you need. I've already put it out to you guys. Reach out. I will always be 100% confidential. I don't just fucking start dropping names and putting people on blast. Me talking about a story or a situation you're going through, I hope that doesn't make you uncomfortable. I hope that makes you feel like, wow, I'm being heard, I'm being seen. And now my story is actually in a private way inspiring maybe someone else to get help or to do something new. But so here's the things you need to guard against, right? To avoid falling back into relapse. You need to protect yourself from things that trigger you. You need to reduce your stress. You need to improve your social support, improve your friendships, not just intimate relationships, and get healthy people, right? And I'm almost guaranteeing you, some of you may have some really healthy, supportive, caring, loving people. My definition of someone that's really loving is not that they're related to you. It's not how long you've known this person. It's really is when shit's tough in your life, right? They're there for you. When shit's great in your life, you're rocking, they're cheering for you. Did you hear those 2 things? That's a good fucking parameter if this is a good person for you to go to. When shit is fucking tough, they are there for you unconditionally, non-judgmental. When shit is going fucking absolutely amazing for you, they are your biggest cheerleader. They are cheering you on. They are fucking just so excited for what you are achieving and accomplishing in life. That's your social support. So we had avoiding triggers, reducing stress, improving our social support, right? It's managing our pain, emotional pain, physical pain. Some of us have medical conditions, right? That because of the conditions that we're dealing with, and some of it could just be, it could be from the pandemic, it could be a long thing, it could be an age-related thing that changes the quality of our life, or at least what we view as the quality of our life. We now feel that we are less than who we used to be because of this situation of a medical related condition, right? How that starts to mess with our mindset, right? Interpersonal problems, right? If you're having conflict at work or in your relationships, right? If you're not able to manage those interpersonal relationships, and guess what? It's all on me has the solution for that. Just take fucking total ownership. Be the leader in the fucking group. I'm looking for warriors. I'm looking for leaders to fucking step the fuck up, be willing to buck the system and be a fucking role model. Because every other motherfucker's out there miserable as a motherfucker. Are you going to just continue joining the chorus? I'm putting a call out for people that want to go against the grain. Start bucking the fucking system, taking ownership. Find your fucking truth and then stand for it. But also be the person that when shit goes bad in an interpersonal situation, you cannot react. You can withdraw if necessary. And then you can come back and say, hey, you know what? I wanted to talk to you about what just happened. I wanted to tell you that I'm sorry. I think I might have hurt you. Right? Even if you know maybe they hurt you too, it's not about them if they hurt you or you hurt them. It's just about becoming a person that is more focused on restoration and healing and growth, right? And setting shit aside, not fucking taking it so fucking personal. Low self-efficacy, right? And that's about confidence. It's like if you're not feeling like you are achieving in your life, whatever your level of success is, whatever your level of accomplishment is, right? Low efficacy. Look that word up, efficacy. I can read you a little statement here I got for you guys on efficacy. I thought this was pretty good. Self-efficacy is confidence in your ability to succeed in a certain area. Studies have shown that people with low efficacy in their abilities to stay sober have higher risks of relapsing, while those with a sense of mastery over their sobriety are more likely to cope effectively. So when we're not feeling like we're achieving in life, right, we're going to have some low self-efficacy, and that's going to also lead to potential relapse. Peer pressure. Ain't that a motherfucker? Trust me, man. This motherfucker here, he was the biggest fucking peer pressure. That guy right there. I got picture, man. I used to be the biggest asshole. If you partied with me, right, I guarantee you, man, I put the fucking pressure cooker on your ass at one time or another, like a fucking asshole, the drunk motherfucker. Come on, man. I don't give a fuck how wasted you are. Quit being a little this, quit being a little that. You need to fucking man up. You need to toughen up. Get some more, drink some more. You know, it's like I was the worst. Some of y'all are like that too. But peer pressure will fucking cause us to get a relapse because we want to be what? We want to be accepted. We want to feel like we're a part of a fucking tribe, like we have a clan, like we're on a team, like we actually matter. We're not just doing life alone. So we give into that shit, right? Some of y'all like give up your sobriety on a first date just because whoever this person is you're meeting, look with, you're worried about if they're going to think about you being weird or not. I know I've talked to both men and women that have given up their sobriety because of love, because of the potential of love, right? That's how fucking shallow we are. That's how fucking weak-minded we are. And then at the end, it's just positive moods, right? So these are the things that you can focus on a daily basis, right? To help strengthen your ability to resist relapsing and going back to things that don't fucking do you no good. Again, how exposed are you to triggers? Are you starting to move farther away from the things that cause you that pain and suffering, or are you drawing closer to them? Are you flirting with fire, right? How close to the line are you trying to live? Are you moving away from it, or are you staying close to it, right? If I was someone that was still struggling with alcohol, right? And if my friends were calling me up Friday and Saturday night to go and party, right? If I can't say no to that, the chances of me relapsing could be pretty good, right? Stress. How are we managing stress? Are you going to get outside today? You going to go live life to the fullest? Does anybody have a plan to go fucking outside? Spend some time in nature? That's one of the most stress relieving things. How many of y'all are willing to just go take off your shoes, put on some of these morning affirmations, and go outside and go find a little patch of dirt? Yeah, it might be cold. Put on a beanie, put on a jacket, take off your shoes and socks, put on some flip-flops, and just go stand there in the dirt. Have an intention that this is going to ground you. It's going to energize you. It's going to help to get your cup back up to 10 so that whatever else you're going to deal with today, you can stay positive. You can stay driven. And guess what, guys? As your cup starts to drain in the morning, right? Throughout the day, midday to the end of the day, the reason why I put the daily 5 out there is because you need to do those things, right? That's why for me, when it talks about my nutrition, I need to have those 4 meals a day, because just my food alone, right? If you're eating shit food, well, that's not filling your cup. It's filling your stomach, right? But if it's unhealthy, if it's highly processed bullshit, right? All kinds of fucking ingredients that ain't what the fuck you're supposed to be eating, that's going to drain your cup. That food is not going to fill your cup. It's not going to energize you. It's not going to make you feel more healthier and confident about yourself. So how do you reduce your stress? You got to start getting active, right? You got to start being more mindful. All of these things here are what reduces stress. Does it eliminate fucking stress? Hell no, right? I have stress. I will always have stress. You will always have stress. Every motherfucker's going to have some stress. It's how do you manage your stress? What are you doing to manage your stress? When I was drinking, the way I managed my stress was I drank. Drinking does not reduce stress. It numbs the pain. It's very toxic and hazardous and harmful to your health. It does not reduce stress. You may feel good for a moment, but you know it doesn't fucking last. So what are you going to do to reduce stress? Well, guess what? Mindfulness helps, meditation helps, prayer helps, right? Exercise helps to reduce stress. Getting outside in nature, right? Some of y'all motherfuckers, you make every excuse. I was there. If you had a long ass fucking week, right? The worst fucking day on earth, the last thing you want to do is go exercise. You're like, I'm too tired to even fucking think right now. How the fuck am I supposed to go work out? Trust me, go do it. I challenge you to go do it on one of those days where you're just feeling, I have no energy, I have no time, I can't even fucking think straight. All I want to do is sit here and fucking eat unhealthy, kick back some drinks, and just check the fuck out. You know that shit don't help you. That's just the way that you've trained yourself to cope with the pain and the stress that you're dealing with. And you got to start breaking that bullshit fucking bad habit. That's a bad fucking habit. And you got to own it. I ain't telling you what the fuck to do. You keep doing you. I'm telling you what's helped me to get to this fucking place in my life where I can now be giving back. Where what I'm saying is worked. This shit has worked. And it's proven. I can find articles that back up every fucking thing I'm talking about. I'm telling you guys from my heart what has worked, and you guys see the results are here, right? I'm happier, healthier, stronger than I've ever been before in my whole entire fucking life. Not once am I ever going to have a thought, I wish I was 21. I feel 21. I know I don't look it, but I feel it. And the way we feel is way more fucking important about how we look. So dealing with stress is a big issue. This right here, you guys, this daily 5 is how the fuck I deal with my stress. Because I'm not eliminating stress. That shit comes. But because I am more grounded as a man, as a human, I'm more in touch with my emotions, I can sit there and process the fucking stress and then and not react to it so quickly. And I could sit there in the pain and the uncomfortableness, right? A lot of us, we just can't fucking handle being uncomfortable. Right? One of the things that I love doing is this cold water treatment, man. Like anytime there's these hot springs I go to, and there's a creek next to it, man. And that shit's running probably in the teens. It's cold. That's some cold fucking water, man. But I go in there and I hold my breath. I sit there for like 40 seconds. It's uncomfortable, but it toughens me. It strengthens me, right? It puts me in an uncomfortable situation and it shows me that I can get through it, so that when some stress hits me, when life fucking pops me in the fucking face, I don't get knocked the fuck out and I don't go running to some fucking alcohol and some other bullshit. I'm able to sit there and say, oh, fuck, this sucks. This is a shitty situation, but guess what? I'm going to sit here, I'm going to process the feelings of it, and then I'm going to come up with some fucking solutions to how to deal with life on life's terms. That's what my life has been about the last 10 years, you guys. I don't do a lot of fucking pills. I do Motrin. Motrin. This is about the only motherfucking thing that the VA is still sending me. I'm off all of my meds, eating healthier, exercising more, being more mindful. Man, I hardly take any fucking pills right now. So again, it's all about keeping your cup full, keeping your stress down. That doesn't mean the stress is gone. That doesn't mean that because you did some mindfulness and you exercised today that all your problems are gone. No, it's just by doing healthy habits every single day, you now are going to come up with healthy solutions to your problems, which is going to start doing what? It's going to start giving you some progress in life. And progress is a great place to be. Because when you start feeling like your life is moving in a positive direction, that you're not just sitting fucking idle on the fucking sidelines, what the fuck? Right? How many of you just sit on the fucking sidelines? Stop. This day is way too fucking important, man. This could be the day that changes your entire life. One decision today, you guys. One decision, one thought that then becomes a decision, and then that turns into action on your part, where you actually say, I'm going to start acting on this shit. I'm going to start doing some things that reduce stress in my life. Right? Could be the fucking breakthrough to your goals and your dreams that you have lost, that you think are impossible right now. Nothing is impossible. And that's why I'm coming back to show you guys. Look at where I have been through. Look at everything I've been through. And I'm still just sharing with you guys this shit. But if I can do it, you can do it. There's nothing different about me that you don't possess. Some of y'all are more talented than me, more intelligent than me, stronger than me, physically, mentally, right? Some of you are just absolute superior fucking human beings to me. And if I can fucking do this shit, y'all motherfuckers can do this shit. And you know what you need to do. When are you going to make the decision? When are you finally going to say, enough's enough? It's time to start doing some shit for me. It's time to start fucking getting back after it. And some of you all need to get some therapy. What the fuck's wrong with that? That's the new cool in 2022. You know that, right? The new sexy ain't fucking tits and ass and fucking guys on flex with their cars and the fucking gym shots. None of that shit is sexy to me. What's sexy to me is someone that's healthy and whole and fucking knows what the fuck they stand for. Has some healthy fucking boundaries, has some values to themselves, right? That's sexy. Someone that's worked on fucking doing some childhood fucking trauma, healing them childhood traumas. Quit carrying that shit with you every fucking day. It's time to clean out the motherfucking closets. It's time to clean out the depths of your soul where the fucking truth lies. Going in there, making some peace, having some compassion for yourself, loving yourself enough to give a damn to say, I'm going to fucking start doing some things right now. And it's not easy. I already told you guys. You start stepping in the positive direction, the universe is gonna fucking smack your ass. And you gotta be ready to fucking fight. If you ain't ready to fight, you'll be right back to it. Here's what we're talking about. Lapse and relapse. That's the message of today. Saturday. Third Saturday of the month, you guys. Guess what? One more week and we're in fucking February 2022. That's how quick this shit goes. But guess what? I've made a promise to myself. I've made a fucking commitment to myself. Zero fucking excuses. I ain't missed one day getting on this motherfucking show right here. One fucking day. And trust me, you know how fucking much I built my own self-confidence, following through, remaining committed. Do you think it's been easy every day getting on here? No fucking script, just coming on here with a heart and a fucking purpose and a message to send out. You think that shit's easy? It's not. But I committed to doing it, and I ain't fucking letting myself down. And I ain't trying to let none of you down, because I'm tired of bullshitting myself. I'm tired of bullshitting all these other motherfuckers out there. All right? We getting real here now, right? We getting fucking real right here. Drunk motherfucker. Parental advisory. Explicit lyrics. Don't come at me with this. Change your fucking swear words. Fuck that shit. Look, get out there. That's it. Get out there. Do something new today, right? Let's finish with this. We got what fills our cups, but we got what should come natural to every one of us. Doing something new, doing something for you, and doing something kind. Are you ready to take on that fucking challenge? If you are, guess what? Some shit's going to start to change. Some shit's going to start getting better. That don't mean it's going to get easier, but it's going to start getting better if you stick it out. Reach out if you need help. Quit making them motherfucking excuses. Tell that little bitch voice to shut the fuck up. Guess what? Greg's out.